but 7 points separates first to fifth. I wanted to start first of all with the Arsenal game, in fact, because it was a weird one. Good early goal from Villa. I feel that Arsenal then had the majority of the play, missed some big chances, but then, of course, the really contentious non-penalty that wasn't given. And the big question from Gooners is, should this have been a penalty when you look at the one Crystal Palace got earlier on in the day? Could that have changed the game as an example? And I want to throw that question out to the panel. I'll go to LB first on this. Do you think Arsenal were unfortunate to not be awarded a penalty kick early in the second half?
Nah. They need to focus on their own game, man. You know what I mean? We always see Arsenal fans, whenever they drop points, it's always about the referee. Newcastle, how long did they go on about that decision for? 3 weeks it was.
They're still going on about LB. It's a
madness. Like, when my team loses, I always try and focus on my own team's performance. Yeah, and they just sit there, most of them. Not all of them. Yeah, I give the respect to some of them.
Oh, I remember you again in the Spurs game. Yes, same. Absolutely.
Bro, I talked about it on that day. Did I drag it out for 24, 48 hours? No. I looked at my own team. Exactly.
Was that a penalty or not? LB, I get what you're saying. Was that a penalty or not?
I don't think it was clear and obvious.
You don't think?
I don't think it was clear and obvious.
But the Liverpool went back 2 minutes, a minute 45. And it wasn't clear and obvious, LB. We're trying to be consistent here. This one is very similar to the Liverpool one. They went back a minute 45 seconds in the game to check it.
Yeah.
Was it clear and obvious then?
Yeah,
it might not be. It might not be.
You know what I mean? We can have the conversation, but
exactly. So let's have the conversation that it's not consistent, and we move on. Yes. But we say our opinion that if we think the Liverpool is a penalty, we think this one looks similar. Right?
Well, you can say what you want, Mo. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I'm just saying I don't think it was a clear and obvious error. Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be focusing on my own team's performance. Look at my own team's performance. Do you know what I mean? They had a big opportunity there to put down a big marker. Because let's be honest, the thing that we all talk about Arsenal, we all know they've got good players. We all know that they can get results. It's about the mentality. It's about their bottleness. Yeah, because they bottled the top 4 2 years ago and they bottled the title last year. So when we're looking at Arsenal, we're not looking at Arsenal to blow teams away 4-5-0 when they beat PSV Eindhoven or Bournemouth. We all know they can do that. Yet some reason, when they beat Lens 5-6-0, they all wanted us to come on the show and went, bloody hell, aren't you good? We all know Arsenal are good. We know Arsenal are a good team. What we're looking for from Arsenal is to say, have you got that mentality yet to bridge the gap for the last 2 seasons where you bottled it? And they've got these. I think statistically the second hardest run this month, and so far they failed the first test. Now, I'm just saying that's the major issue. We all know Arsenal are a good team. They went to Villa and didn't win. We got battered. They did better than us. But I'd just be looking at my own team. You know what I mean? They got a tricky game coming up against Brighton. They got Liverpool. These are the games for me that Arsenal will be judged on. Not Bournemouth at home. Not Lens. Not Sheffield United. I expect Arsenal to put 5 past those teams. They're a very, very good team. It's when the mentality needs to really step up a gear that we need to see Arsenal doing it. And unfortunately, they didn't, man.
What are you saying, Kate? I understand they definitely missed their chances, and I think that their fans, and I've seen a lot of their fans on their match reaction, were calling out that lack of clinical edge. But at the same time, when you see Palace awarded a penalty for the identical thing 4 or 5 hours earlier, is it right that Arsenal fans, in their view, again, call out another inconsistent decision? You know, we saw after the Newcastle game, first game back, the smallest little push in the back of Alisson by a Man City player, and it was disallowed when the Newcastle goal went, and they said, well, we can't possibly tell how much force was used, therefore it can't be a foul. Do you understand why some Gooners feel they're not getting the rub of the green? Or are you at a point as a Spurs fan where you just don't care?
I don't care. That's the truth. I think it's baffling. It's the first time on the top 6 with no Gooners. And I've just, it's a bit strange to me. They've been chirping all season and they lose a game and they're nowhere to be seen. At the end of the day, we can all cry about referees every week. There's no consistency. We all know it. Liverpool got done at our place. We all know that was a goal. There's terrible decisions every game, week in, week out. What's the point of sitting here crying about it? Everyone says it evens itself out at the end of the season. You know, they should have done better, and then they wouldn't have had to rely on a refereeing decision. It's as easy as that. I thought Villa were fantastic, absolutely fantastic. For me, I actually expect Villa to finish above Spurs this year. I thought they looked absolutely mustard, and yeah. I mean, Egal was on your post-match reaction crying like a little baby, saying it's corruption, which is just the funniest thing I've ever heard. But like I say, we can all sit and cry about referees because we've all had these decisions go against us. We've all felt hard done by. But the fact is, if you're clinical, you put your chances away, then you don't have to rely on the referee to bail you out.
Exactly. Okay. Why are the fans not moaning at Odegaard? Yeah.
You know, I find it baffling.
5 yards that he could have put into the bottom corner. The guy took about 10 years to set himself up. Why not moaning about that? Why not moaning about some of the other players? We all get, as Kate said, we all get decisions.
You know what I mean? There was 2 chances. There was 2 chances for Odegaard. The one he set himself up and the one that got cut back. He should be hitting the target.
Like I said the other day, from time Havertz was arguably your best player. You know your other guys didn't step up. Saka was crap. Martinelli was crap. Odegaard was crap. You know, and it's a theme of their season. A lot of these players haven't been performing like they were last year. Do you know what I mean? So they like to focus on decisions rather than speaking about their team and criticizing their star players. That's what Arsenal fans do.
You know what it is, Don? I think it was the last top 6. I said this game going in, they're going to show if they're going to be that team where like, wow, look, they're the only team that went to Villa and picked up 3 points. They're very serious. You know, we're going to take them up that extra level. Now we're going to take them even more serious because we do know they're title contenders. At least most of us do. But there's that next level where like City just lost there, but we went and picked up 3 points. These are 3 big points that are going to put us on the map. And instead of, as you guys all said correctly here, instead of calling out, listen, shit happens, I get it. But instead of calling out Odegaard for missing 2 absolute clear chances, they're sitting here and talking about referees. And what's so baffling is that, I think it was you, LB, you mentioned the Newcastle decision, or someone else said something like that. When Newcastle got hard done by in the Europa in the Champions League against PSG with that penalty, they all came on this space and they start laughing. Hold that. That's for the Newcastle game where it should have been a penalty, a foul on Gabriel and that goal, blah, blah, blah. But then they're back again, getting another decision that's against them, where they clearly have proven to them that everyone gets done by, even Newcastle, where you made fun of them, and they come out and they say it's a conspiracy. How's it as a conspiracy when you were just laughing at another team for being hard done by and potentially getting eliminated for the Champions League over a penalty decision? These guys, and I said this, and they get upset with me, and they say Staff hates Arsenal. I don't hate Arsenal. There's a lot of Arsenal fans that I rate. But when you come out and you complain and cry and say it's a conspiracy, instead of saying, why did Odegaard not finish his dinner? Why did my attackers not score enough today? Why did we concede a goal? Instead of calling all that out, when you want to be champions, you want to sit here and complain about the referees all the time. To me, that shows me that most Arsenal fans are not ready to move on to that elite mentality where, like, listen, we're not always going to get things our way. There's going to be rough days because of the refereeing decisions, injuries, whatever it is. But you know what? We are going to be champions and we're going to get over it. They didn't do that.
Staffy, what it is,
but not the majority.
Staffy, they can't act like they can't. Hold on, Ramsey. Yeah, just one. I'll let you come in. Yeah, they can't act like they've been here before, bro, because it's been about 2 decades, bro. That's what it is. They haven't been here before. This is what happens. This is what happens.
There's something LB said, which is true. The Lons, battering the Lons, Bournemouth and whatnot. We expect that, but when I look at Arsenal's test this season, away against a Chelsea team that we all deem that's rubbish, couldn't get over the line against them. I'm going to give them credit for the City game because they found a way. Whether it was late, whatnot, they found a way. Spurs at home, they drew. They still got to go away to us. That's yet to be seen next weekend. They've got to go away to City. They've got to go away to Spurs. These are the games I'm looking at where I really think, Arsenal are about it. All these other teams that they're expected to beat. I know you can only beat what's in front of you, but I'm looking at the test they've had Newcastle away as well. They've not really passed them so far. They've generally not passed them so far. And to win leagues, you have to go away to these big grounds and pick up some points. So I agree with LB. I still need to see that they have the famous words of Troy Deeney, the cojones to actually go all the way and win this title because they've not passed some of these tests, honestly. And even United at the Emirates, I know Staffy and Terry might agree on this. Yeah, they beat United in the end, but United gave them a game up until that Garnacho disallowed goal. United gave them a game. So it's not like they've been blowing the big teams out of the water. So I still need to see more from that Arsenal team.
Based on what you said there, and there was also yourself, Staffy, a little bit earlier around, maybe being one of the only teams that goes away to Villa this year and gets a win. Do you feel like the games against Villa and then the forthcoming match on the 23rd against Liverpool, are they almost season defining? Almost, if they get beat by Liverpool, will a lot of people just doubt them? Will they themselves, deep down inside, doubt they'll be able to win the league? How defining do you think these two games, one that they've already lost, are going to be?
I think it's important because especially because they lost this one. If they would have won this one, listen, you don't. Not a lot of teams go to Liverpool and expect to win. That's completely fine. But when you're looking for moments in the season where, like, yo, this is the moment we believed we were gonna win the title. This is the moment where, you know, we thought we're good enough. This is the moment where we thought we're better than Liverpool. We're better than City. These are the moments that I'm talking about. And you didn't do that against Villa for one reason or another. Now you have another chance to go and do that because these are the games that make champions. You don't become champions. Listen, I understand you still have to beat who's ahead of you. So if you're playing all these lower half of the table teams and you're beating them, that's all fine. Most champions already do that. When you historically look at all the champions, they always win that. But it's the big games when you go to Anfield and you at least leave with a point. When you go, listen, Villa's never a big conversation like we're having right now. But in the context of what's going on right now, that undefeated at home, they've won every game. This was a big game. They would have been, that's what I'm saying. They're the only team that could have left and saying, we are the only team that went to Villa Park and picked up 3 points this season. No one else can say that. Not even the treble champions that just won the league, City. So these are the things that I wouldn't say it's season defining, but they're definitely very big. You know, they leave a big impact on the season eventually. Because when you look back at the end of the season where the Terrace is about to conclude, and you look at the teams are like, who had, you know, these big defining moments that carried it on, and they could go all the way, is these moments. And they need one of these moments so far. So I think it's very important to go and get something from Liverpool.
So why can't the big defining moment is winning against City for the first time in 8 years? Why
that is one of them. There you go. That's one of them. I just forgot about it right now.
In my opinion, actually, Man City won the league last year, losing to Liverpool at Anfield, losing to Man United, whatever the circumstances are, losing to Spurs. I think Arsenal, we're being very harsh, and I think we're putting Arsenal under the microscope and leaving Manchester City, maybe because they have the know-how to do, and they did it before, and Liverpool the same, because Liverpool are scraping wins against Sheffield, are doing the same thing as Arsenal. Arsenal have the best defense in the league. Yes, they consider the same goals as Liverpool, but they consider the least chances in the league. Their offense hasn't kicked on, but they are starting a little bit to kick on now since Jesus came back. Their offense scored 4 against Luton away from home. Yes, they conceded 3. Questions to be asked there, but at least the offense got it right. I think we're being harsh on Arsenal. And it's these games. I agree with LB about the next games that will show us the true color of what they can do in this season. But to be honest with you, I think we're over criticizing Arsenal because they lost to Aston Villa, and I actually think they played better than Manchester City played against Villa. Yes, Manchester City had
that wasn't difficult, Mo. We were absolutely abysmal. It's not It's not.
You are the best team in the league.
Yeah, but we're not being overly critical. Mo, we were trying to judge a team that people are saying should be winning the Premier League. No one's saying that the loss against Villa is going to completely derail Arsenal's
third favourites for you.
1 second, let me finish. No one's saying that the loss against Villa. You're Bro, no one's saying that the loss against Villa is going to derail the Arsenal season, right? Oh, people are just judging it and saying Arsenal had a huge opportunity to go to Villa and put out a huge statement, and they didn't. That doesn't mean they're not going to win the league. They could still win the league.
Think that Villa were favourites to win the game. Actually, Arsenal, I salute them for the way they played. Yes, Odegaard is the one who lost them the game. They could have won the game if Odegaard stepped up. I've been critical of Odegaard from the beginning of the season. But Arsenal still created chances. They defended well. They limited Villa after they scored. They limited their chances massively. Still, Villa created chances against City, the best team in the league, arguably the best team in the league. I think Arsenal played well against Aston Villa. They didn't play terribly as people want to put it out. Some individual performances weren't great, but they played.
No, but no one said that. No one said that.
I think everybody's criticizing them.
No. Mo, you got to understand. LB said it perfectly right now. We're holding them to different standards. We're talking about them potentially being champions. We're not talking about what I just said, the being champions. That's why he's saying, he's talking about so in the context of the game, to go and beat Villa when we all saw the game and they had enough chances to win it and they didn't. This is why he's sitting here and saying the stuff that he's saying. He's not saying, oh, now they lost to Villa, nah, they're not going to win the league. We're not saying that at all. We're not saying they're a shit team. At the end of the day, they did play better than City. We all saw that. But this is criticism in terms of you had a chance to do something that no one else did, and that solidifies you even more as a serious title contender, and you missed it. So to him, he's like, I still need to see more. And you can't blame him.
Contenders.
You're gonna go back and say, but they lost to them. I get you. They're title contenders, but are we not having conversations about City dropping off this season?
Okay, so they are dropping off, but Arsenal.
I don't think they even played that well, to be honest. I don't think they even played that well. I think they played better than Villa. I think they played better than Villa, and they created good chances.
Right?
Guys, I want to go to some super chats here on this, and I want to go to a tweet that Don just sent to me. Charles here says champs need to win these games, but Liverpool drew to Chelsea, lost to Spurs, drew at City. City lost to Arsenal, drew with Chelsea, Spurs, and Liverpool. So none of these teams can be champions according to this weak analysis.
The big difference, Mo just said it.
I won.
No. Big difference. Mo, you literally just said it a minute ago.
I don't want any fighting on this channel today, boys, so keep it calm.
The difference is, I think most of us will agree, until we see Arsenal do it. City and Liverpool have been there and done it.
100%.
Until we see Arsenal do it, and Mo literally just said it. That's why I was coming with that narrative.
If that's your argument, I give you that.
That is my argument for Arsenal. That's
because
it.
we know that Liverpool and Man City did it before, yes. But because the performances that Arsenal are doing, they're not doing the best now at the moment. But their offense is clicking, their defense have been strong. They are still in the mix, and I think they are one of the favorites. Come on, just like them, City and Liverpool are together. But people want to say, no, you are certain. You are not even in the and I've seen it a lot, and you guys know what I'm talking about. We have seen a lot of people say that.
I would like a quick answer from somebody on this super chat that says Terry asked, was it a pen or not? And it devolved into every Arsenal fan not calling out their team, which is factually incorrect. Most fan channels, we all said we weren't clinical. This is jarring. Just very quickly, was it a pen?
No.
See, go back to the same question.
There we go. No, it's fine.